Arizona, 3 of those losses coming against ranked teams. They lost 16-1 to Dakota Wesleyan, 12-7 loss to number 12 Missouri Valley, 22-3 loss to 24 ranked Jamestown, and 3-1 to number 25 Valley City State. But a couple of huge victories against Presentation, 12-4, Benedictine 7-5, and a big one against Waldorf, 11-4, before returning home to Mishawaka. For the Spring Arbor Cougars, they come off a abysmal doubleheader last night in Indianapolis. They lost 12-1 and 8-0 against the Marian University Knights, a team that most people will think is probably going to be the favorite here in the Crossroads League this season. They went 7-5 on their spring break trip down to Florida, and 4 of those games included matchups against Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference teams. 2 of those wins against the Trinity schools defeated Trinity Christian 9-1 and Trinity International 7-2. They also lost to Judson 8-2, as well as Cardinal Stritch 13-0. But a high point on their trip, they defeated Bellevue, a team that received votes in the preseason softball poll. They beat them 4-3 in 8 innings of play. One of the players that Bethel is really high on in this freshman class that Scott Reese has brought in is Quinn Slotman, and all she did in Arizona was go 11 for 27 with a double and 5 RBIs. She has started all 10 contests for the Pilots, hitting .407. That's a team high on the season. She's also slugging a team high .444. But when she gets on base, opposing teams need to look out. 10 stolen bases on the season. Bethel has 20 as a team. She's only been thrown out 1 time. Haley Stinson's going to get the ball in the circle for game 1, 1-4 on the season. Has started 5 games for the Pilots. When we come back, we'll sit down with Scott Reese and we'll get his thoughts on the opening game of the season from Gardner Field, as you're listening to Bethel Pilots softball on the Regional Radio Sports Network. And we want to thank our friends at Beef O'Brady's. Beef O'Brady's in Granger is the place to go before or after the game. Locally owned and operated for 10 years, they're a family-oriented business featuring a private party room with seating for up to 60 people, along with an outside patio area that can seat up to 20 guests. Located on State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef has daily specials Monday through Friday and offers dine-in and carry-out service. They're also the spot to watch all your sporting events, including the NCAA men's basketball tournament. For more information, call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports. And as we made mention, we sat down with Scott Reese prior to the game, get his thoughts on the Arizona trip and his opponent today, the Spring Arbor Cougars.
Welcome back to the Regional Radio Sports Network's coverage of Bethel Pilots softball. Glad to be joined pregame by Scott Reese, the head coach of the Bethel Pilots. And Scott, you guys started the season with a trip out to Arizona against some pretty good competition. A few ranked teams on that schedule. What did you learn about your squad on that trip out west?
We've got some steps to take to go forward. It was some tough competition, and we're happy to come back with the 3 wins that we did, but we want to be better, and we're not happy at 3-7 right now. So hopefully we're learning how to play and learning what we need to do to get ourselves better each and every day.
You've had 11 days off since your last game. Are you worried about any kind of rust that your squad has? We saw them in the pregame playing football out in left field, and they look like they were just ready to go after that long stretch.
We're just trying to have some fun, and stay loose as much as possible. We haven't even been on the infield. The reason we haven't been playing is because our infield's been so soft and been too wet and been thawing. So we've been getting our cuts in. We've been working on different defensive things that we wanted to work on. It happens when you're in northern Indiana. That's going to happen, and sometimes you get to come home from those spring trips and play right away, and sometimes, like this one, you have 11 days off. So we'll see how it goes.
You got a couple seniors on your squad, Hunter Brummett and Danica Mast. How have they embraced that leadership role as being the elder statesman on this year's squad?
Danica and Hunter are fantastic. They just, and not only are they the only two seniors, but they're the only two upperclassmen. We don't have any juniors on this team. So, they have thrived in that role. And from two people that aren't consistent starters either, So Danica's going to see some relief appearances for us in the circle. Hunter's going to get some opportunities at the plate and maybe some opportunities out in the outfield too. But again, just great young ladies that want this team to do well and want to be leaders and have done a great job of trying to fill that role. Yeah.
One of those players on the opposite end of the spectrum is newcomer Quinn Slotman. What does she bring to the table? Because she's had an absolute terror at the plate out in Arizona. She really looked like she was hitting the ball and seeing the ball well.
She's very aggressive, and she goes all out on everything that she does, and I think that that's a good thing for everybody to see. I mean, we have a lot of aggressive people and a lot of players that come from that mindset of, take advantage of the opportunities that you get. But as a freshman, she did. She took advantage of those opportunities. She struggled a little bit defensively for us, but she also knows that we have confidence in her to kind of jump back. The diamonds you see down in Arizona are nowhere near the diamonds that we're going to play on up here. This soft infield, is totally the opposite of the thing that bounces all over the place. You never know where it's going to go. So she struggled a little bit there, but really came into her own those last 3 games defensively as well, and didn't let it affect her offense. That was key for us too, for everybody to see, hey, she's struggling defensively, but she's not taking it with her to the plate either. So just a great young lady, again, just as a freshman coming in and showing everybody how to do things.
You look across the diamond, you see Spring Arbor. What are some of the things they do that could frustrate your squad at times, and what are some of the keys to victory?
They're just consistent. They take advantage of your opportunities, of the opportunities that you give them. So we've just got to play the type of game we're capable of playing, which is, take the ground balls that are given to us, the fly balls that are given to us, communicate, make good plays on them, hit the gaps, hit our cutoffs, and throw strikes in the places that we're supposed to throw strikes, and don't hang them over the middle. So as long as we do things well, we're going to be in these games, and we're going to be able to compete, and that's what I'm looking forward to as we get started with this conference season this year, is trying to surprise some people.
All right, Scott, best of luck today.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
I want to thank Scott Reese for joining us pregame here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, as both coaches are at home plate exchanging lineup cards. Scott Reese coming in, his 3rd season at the helm of the Bethel Pilots, 10-91 in 3 seasons. Deb Thompson, 33rd year at the helm of Spring Arbor University, 805 victories to go along with 764 losses and a single tie. Starting pitchers in today's first game, Haley Stinson, sophomore from Preble, Indiana, 1-4 on the season in 5 starts, 7.45 ERA with a complete game, 20 2/3 innings pitched. She's allowed 32 hits, 24 runs, 22 of them earned, struck out 7, walked 4. Hitters are batting .333 against the sophomore. She will be opposed by Lauren Wergo, the junior out of Alpena, Michigan. 6-1 rather on the season in 7 games started. 1.62 ERA. She's completed 3 games, one of which is a shutout. 43 1/3 innings pitched. She's allowed 18 runs and 42 hits. She struck out 29 and walked 19. Opposing hitters are hitting .255 on the season. Pilots already this season have been outscored 93-44, as the Pilots have managed 13 runs in the first 3 innings, 2 in the first, none in the second, and 11 in the third. They have also not hit a home run or a triple yet, only 10 extra base hits for the Pilots on the season. Spring Arbor has hit 3 homers, 2 triples, and 27 doubles. 32 extra base hits for the Cougars, as both teams Coaches are with their programs, and we will send it over for our pregame festivities.
Good afternoon and welcome to Garner Field on the campus of Bethel College for today's matchup between Spring Arbor Cougars and your Bethel College Pilots. Bethel College welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to today's game. As participants in the NAIA's Championship Character Initiative, we ask each of you to help create a positive, competitive environment by showing respect for one another. On behalf of the Crossroads League and Bethel College, please enjoy today's game. Before we introduce the starting lineups, let's meet today's officials. The home plate umpire is Tim Peterson, and the field umpire is William Pubworth. Now let's introduce the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Spring Arbor. Leading off, the shortstop, number 7, Chloe Gignac. Batting second, the designated player, number 24, Cora Millay. Batting third, the first base, number 18, Hope Longenberger. Batting fourth, the center field, number 22, Sydney Taylor. Batting fifth, the left field, number 12, Kyla Simones. Batting sixth, the third base, number 5, Jade Noe. Batting seventh, the right field, number 15, Sarah Matlock. Batting eighth, the second base, number 9, Hannah Sutton. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 10, Brooklyn Stafford. And taking the circle, number 20, Lauren Wergau. The Cougars are coached by Deb Thompson and assisted by Craig Withrow, Joe Robertson, and Terry Reynolds. And now the starting lineup for your Bethel College Pilots. The left field, number 10, Maribel Castro. The center field, number 2, Marilyn Showalter. The right field, number 9, Mari Younger. The third base, number 6, Shelby Prowse. The shortstop, number 7, Quinn Slatman. Second base, number 24, Morgan Bales. The first base, number 14, Megan Riley. And the pilot battery of number 5, the catcher, Hannah Darling. The pitcher, number 19, Haley Stinson. And the designated player is number 11, Harris Brewer. The Pilots are coached by Scott Reese in his third season, assisted by Ingrid Reese, Maddie Smith, and Beth Dieter. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please stand, and gentlemen, kindly remove your caps for the contest opening prayer. Lord, thank you for the opportunity we have to honor you through the game of softball. We ask you to protect the players as they compete, keep them free from injury, and help them to display their talents in a way that honors you. Help us all to encourage and cheer with proper perspective in mind. Thank you for what you are doing and have done in our lives. In your name, amen. We ask that you remain standing as we honor America and those who serve and protect it with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play ball.
So the starting lineup once again for Spring Arbor will be Gignac at short, Millay the designated player, Longenbarger at first, Taylor at center, Simone's in left, now in over at third, Matlock in right, Sutton at second, and Stafford doing the catching with Lauren Wergo in the circle for Spring Arbor. Defensively for the Pilots, it will be Castro in left, Maribel Castro in left. It will be Marilyn Showalter in center and Mari Younger in right. Shelby Pruse over at third. It will be Quinn Slotman at second, at short. Morgan Bales at second, and Megan Riley over at first. Hannah Darling behind the dish, and in the circle is going to be Hannah Stenson. So Chloe Gignac will step into the batter's box, hitting from the left side. Gignac hitting .359 on the season, no home runs, 2 RBIs as the Pilots break from their huddle. Pilots wearing the blue tops with the white trim. Spring Arbor with the white tops and blue trim as the first pitch from Stinson's over the inside corner for a strike, and we're underway here at Gardner Field. As Gignac squared around to bunt and pulled it back. But nevertheless, it's a strike on the opening pitch. Stinson's second delivery again. Gignac bunts right through it. And it's quickly 0-2 to the Cougar leadoff hitter. Stinson gets the sign she likes. She'll fire the 0-2. Outside with a fastball. The count's now 1-2. Prose playing just inside the bag at third. Same can be said for Riley over at first. As the 1-2 delivery is swung on and fouled back towards the Pilots' dugout. Wind blowing in to start the contest. As the outfielders are playing a little bit in. Stinson with the 1-2. Fires it outside. And the count is even now at 2-2. Cora Millay awaits on deck. Stinson gets the sign. The 2-2 is grounded right to Prose over at third. She'll go across the diamond and skips by Riley. And Gignac is on. We'll wait to see what the official call is on that as that ball scooted right by Riley. So it'll be an error on Prose on the throw. And that'll bring up Cora Millay. First pitch to Millay, bunted right back to Stinson and comes right out of the circle, fires it over to Bales covering, and a nice sacrifice for Millay.
Next up, number 18, Hope Longenberger.
Gignac scoots down to second. And Hope Longenbarger, leading hitter on the Spring Arbor team, hitting .382, no homers, 7 RBIs, but slugging .618. She'll take a rise ball above the belt, ball one. 1 out, 1 on for the Cougars. 1-0 pitch from Stinson is grounded right to Prose. She'll fake to third and at first, and a nice job by Prose as they've got Gignac in a rundown, and they're going to tag both. Gignac going back to second. Longenbarger trying to get to second to replace Gignac is thrown out. So 5-4. .186 on the putouts, and it ends up being a double play. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and no one left in the bottom of the top of the first for Spring Arbor. As we'll flip the lineup book over. And the Pilots will come to bat in the batting order for the Bethel Pilots. It'll be Quinn Slotman, shortstop. She'll lead it off and play at short. Shelby Prose, the third baseman, will hit second. Hannah Darling, the catcher, will bat third. Haley Stinson, the pitcher, she'll bat cleanup. Morgan Bales, the second baseman, will hit fifth. Karis Brewer, designated player, she'll hit sixth. Megan Riley, the first baseman, will hit seventh. Mari Younger, the right fielder, will hit eighth. And batting ninth will be Maribel Castro, the left fielder. Marilyn Showalter, the flex player, in center field. The defense for Spring Arbor, it'll be Kyla Simones in left, Sydney Taylor in center, and Sarah Matlock in right. It'll be Jade No in third, Chloe Gignac at short, Hannah Sutton at second, Hope Longenbarger at first, Brooklyn Stafford behind the plate, and Lauren Wergo, the junior from Alpena, Michigan, will be in the circle. So Slotman to lead it off, hitting out of the right side. And the first pitch from Wergo is right under the belt for a strike. Nice changeup to the freshman. Slotman, team high 11 hits on the trip to Arizona. The 0-1 is smacked into the Spring Arbor dugout. Everyone making sure they're okay in the first base dugout. As the Pilots dugout applauds the overthrow by their first base coach. So 0-2 to the Pilot leadoff hitter. Slotman's going to pop one foul into the screen. 0-2 it will remain. So it'll be Slotman, Prose, and Darling. First three for Scott Reese's crew. Slotman digging in. Wergo gets the sign she likes and slapping it just beyond the reach of Longenbarger at first base, but just going foul. Good cut by Slotman. So we'll do the 0-2 again. Wergo gets the sign, kicks and delivers. And again, Slotman fouls it off, this time down the third base side. Scott Reese, very statuesque over there in the third base box, didn't even move. So a 6-pitch at bat for Slotman. Time was called by the home plate umpire to see if they can find the ball. They're going to let it go for right now. Wergo kicks and delivers and pops it back to center. Going back underneath it is Taylor, and she'll make the catch up against the fence. But a good at bat for Slotman. That'll bring up Shelby Prose. Shelby hitting .269 on the season, no homers, 3 RBIs. And Shelby blasts the first one back into the screen. It'll be a strike, 0-1. Pilots at 3-7 on their trip to Arizona. Back at home for the first of 4 straight. Shelby takes one outside, 1-1. They'll have Spring Arbor for 2 today, Grace for 2 more on Friday. So the 1-1 grazes the outside part of the plate for a strike. Nice fastball by Wergo. And then after these 4 home games, it'll be 8 on the road. Wergo's 1-2. high and outside, and Shelby wisely lays off of that one. Here comes the 2-2 from Wergo, fouled back into the screen once again. So top two hitters for the Pilots, making Wergo do a little extra work. Hannah Darling awaits on deck. She'll be followed by Haley Stinson. Here's the 2-2 once again, and Wergo gets the call this time, inside corner, and Shelby couldn't get the bat off the shoulders. So that'll bring up Hannah Darling, hitting .310 on the season, no homers and 4 RBIs. First pitch from Wergo is outside for a ball. Hannah, another one of these sensational sophomores that Scott Reese has recruited to the Bethel. And she'll get underneath the 0-1 pitch, and underneath it is Sutton, and she will make the catch for out number 3. Pilots go 3 up and 3 down in their half of the first inning. We'll head to the top of the second. It'll be Taylor Simones and No coming up for the visitors from Spring Arbor, as we're scoreless heading into the top of the second inning of play. We made mention that the Pilots went 3-7 on their road trip. 3 of those 7 losses coming at the hands of ranked teams, Missouri Valley, Jamestown, and Valley City State. But they did come away with victories against Presentation, Benedictine, and Waldorf. So a successful 3 games in that regard. But they will come back from Arizona, play 4 at home and then 8 on the road, as we made mention. They'll have a 10-game homestand next month when they play Mount Vernon, Marion, Goshen, Taylor, and Indiana Wesleyan. In a span of 11 days. So the weather not cooperating with the Bethel Pilots softball program, as they are forced to condense their schedule. So 4, 5, and 6 due up for Spring Arbor. It'll be Sydney Taylor to lead it off for the Cougars. Senior from St. Catharines, Ontario. First pitch from Stinson right down the heart of the plate for a strike. Taylor hitting .324 on the season. 1 home run, 9 RBIs. Spring Arbor only hit 3 home runs so far. It's the 0-1 pitch taken up high. That'll even up the count at 1-1. Stinson's 1-1, swung on and fouled off. Taylor was looking to park one into the left center field gap. It'll be a 1-2 count to the senior center fielder. And Stinson tries to go outside. Forces Hannah Darling to get up out of her crouch and get that one. So 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Stinson. Fouled off towards the parking lot. Stinson back in the circle, gets the sign she likes. She'll fire it, and swung on and missed, as Taylor is the first strikeout victim of the contest for Stinson. So that'll bring up Kyla Simones, .314 hitter, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. And she'll line one that tails away from Showalter in center field. And Simone's on her horse. Going to be a close play at second, but she'll get in there standing up. And Simone's with a one-out double. It's her second double of the season. So that'll bring up Jade now, hitting 194, no homers, 5 RBIs. Simone's 2 of 3 on the base paths, and she looked to get a huge lead off a second. His first pitch to now is low and inside for a ball. Stinson trying to dance out of trouble for the second straight inning. It's the 1-0 pitch taken up high for a ball, 2-0. Sarah Matlock awaits on deck. Here's the 2-0 from Stinson. Again, just a little high, and now the count's 3-0. Stinson back in the circle. The pitch again up high and 4 straight balls. And now Spring Arbor with something cooking here, first and second. And that'll bring up Sarah Matlock. 304 hitter hitting from the right side. Ball low. That's 5 straight out of the strike zone for Stinson. The 1-0 pitch right over the inner portion of the plate. Nothing that Matlock could have done on that one, 1-1. Matlock, a freshman from Fowlersville, Michigan. And she'll get a hold of one, and a nice backhanded stop, and quickly going to third with it is Slotman, a fielder's choice. Cuts down Simonis at third. So quick thinking by Slotman. And that'll bring in Hannah Sutton. 304 hitter, no homers, 3 RBIs. And Sutton gets plunked on the first pitch that she sees. And she is in some significant pain at home plate as that got her right in the shoulder. She looks like she's grimacing, holding on to her wrist. This is the senior from Kalamazoo, still in the right-handed batter's box. His coaches from both Bethel and Spring Arbor attend to her. Bases will be loaded for Brooklyn Stafford. Now the only question is, will Sutton remain in the contest? She's starting to shake everything off, and she'll jog down to first base.
Next up will be number 10, Brooklyn Stafford.
So that'll load up the bases, and Stafford's going to come up, hitting 111 on the season. No homers, 1 RBI for the freshman from Birch Run, Michigan. The first pitch taken outside by Stafford. No at third, Matlock at second, and Sutton, who just reached on the hit batsman, is over at first. 1-0 taken up high, 2-0 as the top of the order waits on deck. Nowhere to put Stafford. Stinson Puts one right down the middle, and that's going to go through for a base hit. One run will score. Here comes the second runner, and she will score as well. Noah Matlock scoring on the single by Stafford, and it's 2-0 in favor of the visitors from Spring Arbor. Sutton heads to third on the play. So runners at the corners for Spring Arbor. And Chloe Gignac comes to the plate. She reached on an error and was thrown out in the rundown back in the first, and Gignac bunts one foul. Two out, two on, two in for Spring Arbor. Gignac trying to prolong the inning. Here's the 0-1, taken outside for a ball. As both runners will retreat back to their respective bases. Hannah Sutton on third. Brooklyn Stafford over at first. Corner infielders playing in. Gignac swinging away, and they're going to allow Stafford to go ahead and steal second on the play, as the count is now 1-2. Gignac slaps one right to third, and going across the diamond is Pros to throw out the speedy Gignac. But 2 runs score in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on. Going to the bottom of the second inning here at Gardner Field. Spring Arbor leads it 2-0. Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Build Your Own Burger Mondays. Enjoy a fresh Angus burger with lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions, and mayo, plus fries for just $5.99. Beef's also has award-winning wings, salads, and wraps. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road. They also have dine-in and carry-out service available and are open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's. Good food. Good sports. Middle third of the order due up for the Pilots here in the bottom of the second inning, as it'll be Haley Stinson. She'll be followed by Morgan Bales and Karis Brewer. Spring Arbor getting their runs on a pair of hits. The biggest one being the Brooklyn Stafford single to drive in both runs. So Stinson coming to the plate. Hitting .250 on the season, no homers, 3 RBIs. Hitting from the left side. First pitch to Stinson, right down the pipe for a strike. 0-1. Pilots looking for their first base runner of the game. And Stinson is going to foul one off towards the parking lot. 0-2. The count to the sophomore pitcher. Former Adams Central Flying Jet. She'll take one right over the outside corner for strike 3. Stinson thought it was ball 1, but she is rung up for strikeout number 2, and that'll bring up Morgan Bales. Bales hitting .313 on the season, no homers, 4 RBIs. Hitting from the right side. Bales takes first pitch outside for a ball. Bales, a sophomore from Larwell, Indiana. Did her prep work at Columbia City. And she'll take the 1-0 pitch right over the inside corner. Fastball for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 from Wergo up high, 2-1. 3 other Crossroads League doubleheaders played today. We'll get to those here in a second. Wargo gets the sign she likes, and she'll fire one and a swing and a miss by Bales. That'll even the count at 2-2. Grace is at Marion. The number 6 team in the country is 12-0, 2-0 in the Crossroads League. As Wargo's 2-2 taken outside, that'll bring the count full at 3-2. Goshen travels to Indiana Wesleyan. 7th-ranked Wildcats, 15-5 on the season, taking on a Maple Leaf squad that's 6-10. And St. Francis makes the long trip out to Ohio to take on Mount Vernon Nazarene as Bales fouls one back. St. Francis 9-6, Mount Vernon at 5-5. Huntington, the only team without a win this season, they're at 0-4. They are at Hamline and Edgewood later on today. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed as Bales might have chased ball 4. So Karis Brewer coming in. Brewer hitting .273. No homers, 1 RBI. Only played in 4 games on the season. And she'll take the first pitch up high for a ball. 3 of 11 in the batter's box is Brewer. And she'll pop one up right into the hands of Gignac. And the Pilots go 3 up, 3 down in the second inning as well. 6 straight retired by Lauren Wargo to start the contest. As Spring Arbor will head to the top of the 3rd inning. Up on the Pilots, 2-0. Made mention that the Pilots are going to take on the Grace Lancers on Friday afternoon. 2:40 pregame show. Matt Copsey will be here at Gardner Field. It'll be a doubleheader against the Lancers. Game 1 will start at 3 o'clock. Game 2 will start at 5. You can catch that and all Bethel softball and baseball contests right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Matt Copsey and I will handle the broadcasting duties for the softball squad. Paul Condry will handle the broadcasting duties for the baseball team. So it'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Spring Arbor. As Cora Millay will lead it off. Millay will take the first pitch over the outside corner for a strike. Millay had a sacrifice bunt back in the 1st inning. Cougars up 2-0. And Millay gets a hold of one, and she's going to drop one into right center field for a base hit. Millay rounds first, takes a long turn, and scampers back. And a nice job by Marilyn Showalter to get that ball back into the infield. Hold Millay to first. So that'll bring up Hope Longenbarger. And she'll take a pitch right below the belt for a strike. Longenbarger grounded into a double play back in the 1st inning. And she'll rope one foul over by the tarp. That'll bring the count to 0-2. Sydney Taylor, a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning, awaits on deck. Here's the 0-2 from Stinson, grounded right past the outstretched arms of Bale. And the Cougars now with runners at 1st and 2nd.
Next, number 22, Sydney Taylor.
With nobody out. So the 4th hit of the game for the Cougars. And now Sydney Taylor with a chance to tack on to that 2-0 lead. Takes one right over the heart of the plate for a strike. Here's the 0-1 from Stinson. She gets a hold of one. Popped out to left, giving chase, and watching it sail out of play is Maribel Castro. So here's the pitch from Stinson. Taylor takes that one high and outside. 1-2 now the count. To the senior from St. Catharines, Ontario. Pitch high and outside, ball 2. Kyla Simones waits on deck. And strike 3 as she throws a nice fastball right by Taylor. Second time Taylor has gone down on strikes. Second time swinging. And a huge first out for Haley Stinson. Now she's got to deal with Kyla Simones. Simones takes the first pitch, low and outside. Simones doubled to left center in the second and then was thrown out on a fielder's choice. Simones, they're going to say it hit her. It looked like she got out of the way at the last second, but the second Spring Arbor batter to get hit by a pitch. And the bases are now loaded. Scott Reese will come out. He'll bring the entire infield with him. Spring Arbor did their damage in the second inning. They worked around a leadoff double by Simones as Matlock grounded into a fielder's choice with runners on first and second, but a hit batsman and a single plated 2 more. And the Cougars looking to tack on a couple extra here with 1 out and the bases loaded in the third. So the meeting is adjourned and no pitching changes. Now gets back into the batter's box and she'll take one up high. Nowhere to put her as she has the bases loaded, does Haley Stinson. And a nice job with that drop ball that she has thrown a few times today. Right above the knees for a strike. 1-1. Now Stinson's 1-1 delivery is smacked into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score, and they're going to wave a second runner home and standing up. And sliding at the very last second is Hope Longenbarger. So a 2-run single for now. Makes it 4-0 in favor of Spring Arbor. And that'll bring Sarah Matlock to the dish. Matlock reached on a fielder's choice and scored on a Brooklyn Stafford single. And she'll take the first pitch right over the middle of the plate for a strike. Matlock now awaiting the 0-1. Little high, 1-1 the count. 4-0 in favor of Spring Arbor. First and second with 1 out. Matlock gets one right off the fist. And another double play as wandering too far off the bag was now It'll go 6-3 on the double play. And the Pilots get out of the inning with only the 2 runs scored against. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 runner left on. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Gardner Field on the campus of Bethel College. Spring Arbor leads it 4-0. Last 10 meetings between these two squads, Spring Arbor has taken them all, including a 5-0 win and a 12-2 win here at Gardner Field last March 22nd. A couple closer contests up in Michigan when these two teams met last year. Spring Arbor won 6-2 and 7-2. So the Pilots looking to snap out of that winless streak.
First up for the Pilots will be number 14, Megan Riley.
So the bottom third of the order coming up for Scott Reese's crew, as it'll be Riley, Younger, and Castro looking to get a base runner on. As Megan Riley smacks one foul just in front of the Pilots dugout. Riley hitting .444. She's 4 for 9 of the season. No homers, 2 RBIs. Pilots down 4-0 here in the bottom of the third as the 0-1 pitch taken outside. Riley hitting from the right side as Wergo gets the pitch she likes, and swinging right through it is Riley. That's 1-2. Mari Younger awaits on deck. Here's the 1-2, just a bit outside. There's a nice job by Brooklyn Stafford to set up outside. Just couldn't bring the ball back in. Wergo twirling the ball with her right hand, kicks and fires. And just outside as Stafford tried to frame that one to no avail. And only the second full count that the Pilots have seen all day. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off. A nice job by Riley to protect the plate. Getting just a piece of it. Wergo getting the sign she likes, and she'll kick and fire. And swung on and missed, as Riley is the 4th strikeout victim of the day for Wergo. Wergo with a team-high 29 strikeouts coming in to the game in the circle. Has 4 to add to that total. As Mari Younger fouls the first pitch she sees right into the screen. Younger hitting an even 200. No homers, 1 RBI. Here's the 0-1, taken just inside, 1-1. We mentioned that there have only been 2 full counts, only 3 times in the first 8 hitters. As Wergo even made it to a 2-ball count. As the 1-1 is flied out to Taylor, she'll get underneath it. Kind of a late break, but she'll make the catch. And there's quickly 2 outs. So Maribel Castro, the left fielder, will stride in. Hitting .211 on the year. 4 RBIs on the ledger. And she'll try to bunt her way on. Instead, fouls it back into the screen. It'll be be 8-9-1 for Spring Arbor when they come up to bat in the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch from Wergo. Bunted again, this time towards the Spring Arbor dugout. And it'll drop before either Longenbarger or Stafford can get to it. So 0-2 to Castro. Hitting from the right side. And the pitch from Wergo is blasted to left field. Going back and watching it sail over the wall is Simone's. And Maribel Castro can touch them all as she gets a hold of one and deposits one into left field. And the first home run that the Pilots have hit this year is a big one. That'll make it 4-1.
Next up will be number 7, Quinn Slotman.
So Castro tattoos one. Simone looked like she had a beat on it, and then just watch it sail about 25 feet beyond her reach. So the first collegiate home run for the freshman from Oceanside, California. Makes it 4-1. And that'll bring the top of the order back. Slotman flew out to center her last time up. And Slotman tries to dump one right in front of Matlock, but she gets a beat on it. She will get under it, and she will make the catch. But Maribel Castro gets the Pilots on the board with a long home run to left. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base as we're going to the top of the fourth inning. It's Spring Arbor on top of the Pilots, 4-1. Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Taco Tuesdays. You can enjoy 2 tacos, your choice of chicken, steak, or fish with chips and salsa for just $5.99. Also from 4 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, kids 12 and under can eat for free with a paying adult. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports. New pitcher coming in for the Pilots. It'll be Maddie Morgan, the sophomore from Marysville, Ohio. On for the 4th time this year. 15.27 ERA. 3 2/3 innings. She's given up 11 runs, 8 of them earned. No strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponents hitting .476 on the season.
First up will be number 9, Hannah Sutton.
So Hannah Sutton will lead it off, and she will be the first Spring Arbor batter that Morgan will face, and she throws one right over the inside corner for a strike. Get you the line score on Stinson, and once again Sutton gets hit.
Number 10, Brooklyn Stafford.
Well, they're going to call her out. Stinson, Sutton still in the batter's box. So it's 1-2. They're going to actually call that a strike, and Sutton then goes ahead and straightens one out. She's going to round first. So instead of getting hit, she decides to get a hit. As Brooklyn Stafford will stride to the plate. Stafford singled to right her last time up, scoring 2 runs. And this time she lays down a beautiful bunt. And Pros with a nice throw, but Stafford just too quick down that line. And once again, first and second. And that'll flip the lineup card over as Chloe Gignac reached on an error and grounded out in her 2 previous appearances. And a nice job behind the dish by Hannah Darling, as that ball nearly skipped to the backstop. Here's the 1-0. And again, trying to go outside, but Gignac having nothing to it. 2-0 now. As the 2-0 from Morgan gets part of the black on the outside corner, 2-1. Gignac, freshman from LaSalle, Ontario. Here's the 2-1. She'll watch it go right by her. Too low, 3-1. Morgan's 3-1 delivery. Just grazing the strike zone, 3-2. Cora Malay awaits on deck. 2-1 and nobody out. And Gignac slaps one to third. And a nice job by Pros to fire it over to Slotman for the out, as they will get Sutton on the fielder's choice. So 1 out, but still runners on first and second for Malay. Singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Cougars up 4-1. As Malay watches one go right over the inside corner for a strike. Oh, 1. Right over the outside corner. 1-2, and Malay couldn't get the bat off the shoulder. Stafford at second, Gignac at first. Malay hitting from the left side. Watches one high and outside for a ball, 1-2. The wind continuing to blow in. Here's the 1-2, fouled back into the screen. Hope Longenberger awaiting on deck. Here's the 1-2, low and outside for a ball, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch, low and outside, 3-2. Bethel baseball, a winner at Goshen College in game 1, 9-6. So congratulations to Seth Zartman and his team. As he pitches lofted out and goes right through the glove and quickly back into the infield. And they're going to nail Stafford at third, who got a very late jump and a read on that ball.
Next, number 18, Hope Longenberger.
So once again, first and second as Millay is at first and Gignac is now at second. And that'll bring up Hope Longenberger. Morgan's 0-1 pitch is lofted out to right. Underneath it is Mari Younger, and she will make the catch for out number 3, ending a very interesting inning. No runs for Spring Arbor. 2 hits, an error, and 2 runners left on base. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Pilots trailing Spring Arbor 4-1. It'll be pros Darling and Stinson coming up for the Pilots as Lauren Wergo has pitched brilliantly, save for that Maribel Castro home run in the 3rd inning. She retired the first 8 batters she faced before the Castro long ball. So Shelby, who was a strikeout victim, 1 of 4 for Wergo in the first 3 innings.
First up for the Pilots, will be number 6, Shelby Prowse.
So she'll come to the plate. Wergo's first pitch is launched out of play. As giving chase was Simone's. She'll watch it go out of play. Wergo back in the circle. Now the 0-1 pitch fired outside for a ball. 1-1. Corner infielders playing about 3 steps in front of the bag. As the 1-1, nice job by Shelby to kind of dance out of the way of that one. It almost hit her in the ankles. Here's the 2-1. Line foul. And that didn't miss by much. It was a good effort by Now. So 2-2 to the Pilot third baseman. Hannah Darling awaits on deck. There's the 2-2 just outside. That'll run the count full. Here's the pitch, lofted out to center. Underneath it is Sydney Taylor, and she'll make the catch for out number 1.
Next up will be number 5, Hannah Darling.
So that'll bring up the catcher, Hannah Darling. She popped out to Hannah Sutton over at second base back in the first. And she'll loft one just out of the reach of Gignac at short. And the Pilots have their second hit of the contest. A one-out single to left by Hannah Darling.
Next up will be number 26, Maddie Morgan.
So that'll bring up Maddie Morgan. sophomore from Marysville, Ohio. Morgan came in to pitch in the top of the 4th inning. Squares around a bunt. She pops one right back to Wergo. Does a nice job by the junior.
Next up, number 24, Morgan Bales.
So there are quickly 2 outs. So Morgan Bales will come up. Strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. Wergo's first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. One and 2 for the Pilots as the 1-0 pitch goes outside for a ball, 2-0. Four 7-0 for the Cougars. A swing and a miss by Bales as she had a good cut at that one. Right over the outside part of the plate. There's the 2-1 pitch to Bales. Swung on and missed. Same location, same result for Wergo. And it's 2-2. Here's the delivery from Wergo outside. Once again, Brooklyn Stafford trying to frame that. Second full count of the inning. Here's the pitch to Bales. It swung on and missed. And that will retire the side. So Wergo works around a 1-out hit. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Cougars of Spring Arbor University as they lead it 4-1. Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Wings Wednesdays. Enjoy their award-winning traditional or boneless wings for just 79 cents each. They also have team trivia every Wednesday starting at 7 p.m. with prizes awarded. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports. Beef's also home to the Coach's Box. You can hear every Thursday night during the school year on WGCS 91.1 FM The Globe, and as always, on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Paul Condrey has a roundtable discussion with sports dignitaries from around the area. Always a good time on the Coach's Box, 6 to 7 p.m. every Thursday night during the school year. So, Sydney Taylor, the cleanup hitter for Spring Arbor, will lead off the top of the 5th. 0 for 2 in the contest. She is the only Cougar to not reach base in today's Game 1. And, of course, as soon as I say that, she launches one into left field for a base hit. As Taylor rounds first, the throw is in time, and it scoots away from Bales at second. And Taylor will be in with a double.
Next up, number 12, Kyla Simone.
So for Taylor, that's her 8th double of the season, tying her with Hope Longenbarger for the most on the Cougar roster. Now Kyla Simone's has doubled and been hit by a pitch. And she's going to launch one into the left center field gap. Taylor rounding third, she will score. And both Simone's and Taylor switch spots. as back-to-back doubles have plated the 5th run for the Cougars. And a good job by Hannah Darling to come out and talk to Maddie Morgan. So the two sophomores are done chatting in the circle. Darling will head back behind the plate. And that'll bring up Jade Noe. Walked and scored back in the second, singled, and was doubled up back in the third, and she'll take a strike over the outside corner. Sarah Matlock awaits on deck. 5-1 in favor Spring Arbor. Here's the 0-1 from Morgan. That's going to be sent out to right field. Underneath it is Mari Younger, and she'll make the catch for out number 1. Younger had to battle the wind that's been picking up now the last couple minutes. But she makes the catch. So that brings up Sarah Matlock. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the second. First pitch from Morgan's taken inside for a ball. 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 here in the 5th for the Cougars. Pilots with their lone run in the 3rd. It's a changeup. Caught Matlock, and you could see the knees buckle from up here. Nice pitch by Maddie Morgan. Morgan's 1-1, low. 2-1. And the 2-1 taken up high, 3-1. For the right fielder for Spring Arbor. Matlock awaiting the 3-1. She's going to ground it foul up the third base line. Anna Sutton waits on deck. The count is full on Matlock. Morgan's 3-2 delivery is lined off the top of the Spring Arbor dugout, and that'll head over LaSalle. Morgan gets the sign she likes, kicks and fires, and it's popped up into center. Showalter calling off Castro, and that one could have been dangerous, as I don't think Castro heard Showalter as the two bump into each other. But Showalter catches the ball, and there are 2 gone. So that'll bring up Hannah Sutton. And the first pitch she sees, she pops up a mile in the air, Slotman underneath it, and will make the catch. So back-to-back doubles manufacture the 5th run of the game for Spring Arbor, but Maddie Morgan calms down and gets the next 3 to pop out. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Gardner Field. Spring Arbor leading the Pilots 5-1. 5 of the 10 Crossroads League teams are in action. The Taylor Trojans not in action today. Huntington is at Hamline and Edgewood. Grace is at Marion in a doubleheader. Same could be said for Goshen, traveling down to Indiana Wesleyan, and St. Francis making that wonderful trip out to Ohio that our boss Paul Condrey enjoys making, out to Mount Vernon Nazarene. Paul has said multiple times it's his favorite trip in the Crossroads League. So Karis Brewer will lead it off in the 5th inning for the Bethel Pilots. As they find themselves down 5-1. Brewer popped out to Chloe Gignac at short her first time up back in the 2nd inning. She'll take a strike over the inside corner. Here's the 0-1. Low and outside, 1-1. At the end of the day, only Taylor and Huntington will have not played a Crossroads League game so far. 1-1, taken high and outside for a ball, 2-0. 2-1 rather. Two-one delivery is roped into left center for a base hit, and a nice job cutting it off is Sydney Taylor, and she'll hold Brewer to a single. So the 3rd hit of the game for the Pilots, and the first time they've had their leadoff hitter on. And now coming in to run is going to be the flex player Marilyn Showalter. So Showalter, who's one of one on the base paths. Pilots have stolen 20 bases in the first 10 games of the season. First pitch, no bunt, and Showalter heads down to second. She's thrown out on a bang-bang play. And Scott Reese doesn't like that one. So 2-6 on the putout, and quickly there's one out. As the ball is taken outside by Riley. Riley, who struck out swinging back in the 3rd, looking to make amends for that one. She'll pop one up and over the screen. And that'll bring the count to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Wergo. And Riley will pound it into the ground, but a nice job by Sutton to get over and flip it to Longenbarger for out number 2. So right fielder Mari Younger comes to the dish. She flew out to Sydney Taylor in center field her last time up. And first pitch sails over Mari's head. 1-0. To the sophomore from Stevensville, Michigan. 1-0, taken up high, 2-0. Mari went to Lakeshore High School. Three 3-0 the count now to Younger. Lakeshore combines with St. Joe High School up in Michigan to form the LSJ Warriors hockey team. Paul Condrey and I had the pleasure of working their games this year. So 3-0 pitch is taken right down the heart of the plate for a strike, 3-1. There's the 3-1 to Younger, and she'll slice it foul into the parking lot. So that'll bring the count full. And Murray will stay alive as she'll foul that one back over the Pilot dugout down the third base side. Wargo looks in. That ball skips past Brooklyn Stafford behind the dish. And Younger is aboard with a 2-out walk.
Next up, number 10, Maribel Castro.
So Maribel Castro comes up to the plate. And the last time she was up, she launched one over the left field fence. Pilot's hoping she can duplicate that. As taking off for second and sliding underneath the tag is Mari Younger. And for Younger, that's first stolen base of the season. And the pitch to Castro, taken outside for a ball. So the Pilots with their first runner in scoring position all day. As Castro tried to lay one down, and it's going to pop foul just out of the reach of Brooklyn Stafford. So 1-2 now the count to Maribel Castro. Wargo's pitch fouled back into the screen. Nice cut by Castro. And we'll set up for 1-2 again. Castro again gets some good bat on the ball. Pop it over the screen. Pilots not making it easy on Lauren Wargo, the Spring Arbor pitcher, looking for her 7th win in 8 opportunities. The 1-2 pitch taken high and outside. Quinn Slotman waiting on deck, hoping she can get a chance to hit with some runners on. Younger at second, 2 outs. 2-2 count taken just outside by Castro. And the count is full. Nice job by the freshman from Oceanside, California. Work the count full. Castro's going to line one into the left field for a base hit. Holding at third is going to be Younger. And a good heads-up base running play by Castro as she'll take second.
Next up, number 7, Quinn Slotman.
As Noe kind of fell asleep with the ball in her hand at third base, and Castro decided to take that extra base. So instead of first and third, the Pilots now with second and third. And Quinn Slotman with a chance to drive home too. And Slotman gets onto the first pitch. She'll loft it into right. Camping underneath it is Matlock. And she'll make the catch to end the Pilot threat. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard for the Pilots. We're going to head to the top of the 6th inning here in Mishawaka. Spring Arbor leads it 5-1. Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features fajita Thursdays. You can try seasoned chicken, Angus skirt steak, or grilled shrimp for just $9.99. Located State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's Good Food, Good Sports. Beef's is also the home of the Coach's Box every Thursday night. You can hear it live on 91.1 FM The Globe or on the Regional Radio Sports Network. It's Paul Condry and a plethora of sports dignitaries from around the area and the state converge on Beef O'Brady's in Granger for a 1-hour talk show. As the Pilots get set to use their 3rd pitcher of the contest, and it'll be senior Danica Mast coming on for the Pilots. Danica, no record in her 6th appearance of the season, 9.13 ERA in 7 2/3 innings of work, 10 runs allowed that were earned, 11 total, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, opponents hitting .405 against the right-hander from Millersburg, Indiana. So for Spring Arbor, it'll be 9-1-2. As Brooklyn Stafford set to lead it off. Stafford with a pair of singles in the contest. And the first pitch from Danica, just low and inside for a ball. Spring Arbor with 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. The Pilots with the home run by Castro in the 3rd, accounting for the only scoring. 2-0 pitch right down the outside corner. Stafford just watched that one fly by. It's 2-1. Danica's 2-1 pitch right over the inside corner this time. 2-2. Here's a delivery from Danica right back up the middle. And a good piece of hitting by Stafford, who's on for the 3rd time today.
Next up, number 7, Chloe Gignac.
So Chloe Gignac strides to the plate. Reached on an error in the 1st, grounded out in the 2nd, and reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. First pitch taken low and outside. So Morgan goes 2 innings, just allows the 1 run. And makes way for Danica Mast, and Mast is now behind 2-0 on Gignac. The 2-0 delivery, and Danica watches Gignac foul that one off towards the Pilot dugout. Gignac trying to square around a bunt. Just got a piece of it. So the right-hander from Fairfield gets one, and Gignac again squares around a bunt and fouls it off. Be interesting to see if Deb Thompson has the bunt going for her leadoff hitter. And another double play as Danica's going to flip it over to first. And they caught Stafford napping again.
Next up, number 24, Cora Millay.
So the Pilots have now turned 3 double plays in the contest. And the bases are clear for Cora Millay. The 1-0 pitch taken for a strike, 1-1. Millay got a sacrifice bunt in the first, singled and scored in the third, and reached on a fielder's choice back in the fourth. She'll put the bunt down, and another nice bunt. And all Prowse can do is put that one in her back pocket. So Millay on first, and that'll bring Hope Longenbarger to the dish. Longenbarger grounded into a double play, singled and scored in the third, and flew out to Mari Younger in right. And she'll take a first pitch strike from Danica. Here's the 0-1. Going on the pitch is Millay, and that throw bounces in. And Millay will have a stolen base. Millay now with 2 stolen bases on the year. And it's 0-2 to Longenbarger. And Longenbarger scorches one to right, but Mari Younger on her horse will make the catch. So a 2-out single after Stafford got doubled off amounts to nothing. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pilots trail it 5-1. Mind you, stay tuned as Game 2 will come back on the air about 15 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. We're going to power things down here at Gardner Field. Game 2 scheduled to start at 5 o'clock. As the Pilots will have 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Shelby Prowse will lead it off. Shelby struck out looking in the first and flew out to Sydney Taylor in center back in the fourth. The first pitch from Wergo is taken for a strike. Wergo has gone the distance. Allowed only 5 base runners. Ball is popped out into right field. Camping under it is Matlock, and she will make the catch for out number 1.
Next up, number 5, Hannah Darling.
So Hannah Darling will come up. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Popped to second back in the first inning and singled to left in the fourth. She'll take a pitch high and outside for ball 1. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for Spring Arbor in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch taken low and inside for ball. It's 2-0. Wergo gets the sign she likes, kicks and fires, and the ball is grounded and skips right in front of Chloe Gignac. And Darling is on for the second time in this game. So that'll bring Danica Mast to the dish. And this will be Danica's first plate appearance of the season. Danica tried to put the bunt down, ended up bunting right through it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch sails up high, and Danica had to pull the bat back quickly. And leaving the count at 1. The 1-1 as Danica fouls one back into the screen, 1-2. As Scott Reese calls time and talks to his senior pitcher. And the 1-2 count to Danica. Up high, 2-2. Danica, one of only 2 seniors on this team. Hunter Brummett, the other one. And a swing and a miss, as Danica will go down swinging.
Next up, number 24, Morgan Bales.
And that'll bring up Morgan Bales. First pitch to Bales, taken up high for a ball. Bales struck out swinging in both the second and the fourth. Here's the 0-1. Looks like the 1-0 taken for a strike, 1-1. Darling, the runner at first, 2 outs for the Pilots. Wargo gets the sign she likes, fires it. And Bales swings right through it, 1-2. There's the 1-2 taken high and outside, 2-2. Karis Brewer on deck should Bales prolong the inning. And strike 3 over the inside corner. A nice fastball by Wargo. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on. We're going to head to the top of the 7th inning. Spring Arbor leads it 5-1. Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Surf and Turf Fridays. Enjoy a 6-ounce USDA choice cut sirloin steak with grilled or fried shrimp, plus fries and a salad for just $12.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's. Good food, good sports. Beef's is also home to the Coach's Box every Thursday night. Paul Condry will be joined by Ryan Lightfoot and Scott Moore on this week's show. You can hear that on 91.1 FM, WGCS The Globe, and on the Regional Radio Sports Network. 5-1, Spring Arbor leads it, as it'll be Sydney Taylor, Kyla Simones, and Jade Noe. As Danica finishes her warm-up tosses. And we'll commence with the top of the 7th. Bethel baseball team has already won their first game, so they're getting set to play the Maple Leafs of Goshen College, as Danica Mass throws one outside to Sydney Taylor. Taylor 1 for 3 in the contest, doubled and scored back in the 5th. There's the 1-0 pitch, again taken outside, 2-0. Here's the pitch from Danica, nice change-up catching Taylor off guard, 2-1. 2-1 pitch right over the outside corner. Nice framework by Hannah Darling behind the plate. And it's 2-2. 6, 7, and 8. For the Pilots in their half of the 7th inning as Taylor fouls one back. There's the 2-2 once again, and again fouled back, this time into the screen by Sydney Taylor. It'll be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Taylor gets underneath one and pops one up. Showalter calling everybody off, and she will make the catch in center field for out number 1.
Next up, number 12, Kyla Simones.
So here comes Kyla Simones. She has reached base each time that she has been up. 2 doubles and a hit batsman. His first pitch is taken up high for a ball. Simones pounds one into the dirt. Slotman fires it over to Riley at first. And they finally retire Simones. But Simones didn't make that one look easy. She nearly beat the throw over. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Noe. Noe is 1 for 2. Singled, flew out to right, and also walked and scored. And she'll take the first pitch over the outside corner for a strike. Danica looking into Hannah Darling, gets the sign and the pitch. Taken low and inside for a ball, 1-1. Now the 1-1 from Danica, up high, ball 2. Sarah Matlock awaits on deck. Should Noe be able to reach? Noe will pound that one right at home plate, and a nice job by Darling to get out of the crouch and throw it down to first to retire the sides. 3 up and 3 down for the Cougars, as we'll now head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Pilots needing 4 to tie and 5 to win it as they trail 5-1. Once again, reminding you, Game 2 will start about 15 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. The Crossroads League opener for the Pilots. The Cougars have already opened league play. They started off with a pair of losses to the Marion Knights. They lost 12-1 and 8-0 down at Marion yesterday. So the Cougars looking to get their first win of the Crossroads League campaign.
First up for the Pilots, number 11, Harris Brewer.
But they've got to finish this game first, and Karis Brewer will lead it off for the Pilots. It'll be Brewer, Riley, and Younger to try to get 4 runs against Lauren Wergo to extend this contest. So Brewer stepping in from the right side. And the pitch right over the inside corner for a strike. Pilot designated player, 1 for 2. Singled and popped out in her 2 previous appearances. That's the 0-1 right over the outside corner, 0-2. There's the 0-2 from Wergo way outside as Stafford, again, trying to frame that one outside. Now the 1-2 to Brewer. Popped foul right back into the screen. And we'll do the 1-2 again. Wergo gets the sign, kicks and fires. And they're going to say it hit the end of Brewer's bat. Nope. It's 2-2. Coach Deb Thompson's going to come out of the first base dugout, ask for an explanation. So Brewer, Riley, Younger, the three batters scheduled up as Thompson continues to ask for an explanation. She's heard enough and she'll go back to the first base dugout. It's 2-2 the count. Brewer will take one right over the outside corner, strike 3. And the Pilots are down to their last 2 outs.
Next up, number 14, Megan Riley.
So that'll bring up Megan Riley. Strikeout, ground out in her last 2 appearances as she fouls one squarely off one of the poles. That holds the screen up. The 0-1 pitch taken outside for a ball, 1-1. Right over the inside corner. Riley not wanting to offer at it. So 1-2 with Mari Younger awaiting on deck. There's the 1-2 delivery right over the outside corner, strike 3. Back-to-back backwards Ks. Wergo has struck out the last 4 Pilot hitters, the last 3 of them looking. Now Mari Younger trying to keep game 1 going. Takes a first pitch right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Younger walked back in the 5th and flew out to center back in the 3rd. As Younger will take strike 2, and the Pilots down to their last strike. Here's the 0-2 to Younger, up high for a ball, 1-2. As Younger is going to watch that one right over the outside corner, strike 3, and that will do it. Game 1 goes to Spring Arbor. So the Pilots scratch out only 5 base hits here in game 1 as they fall to Spring Arbor 5-1. So final totals here in game 1 for the Spring Arbor Cougars: 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left 4 on base. For the Bethel Pilots, 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors. They left 7 on base. Winning pitcher Lauren Wergo, she's now 7-1 on the season. Losing pitcher Haley Stinson, she is now 1-5 in a game that lasted 1 hour and 42 minutes. We're going to close things down here in game 1 as Spring Arbor wins at 5-2. We'll be back in approximately 10 to 15 minutes with game 2 of the doubleheader between Spring Arbor and Bethel. From all of us at the Regional Radio Sports Network, this is JP Gilbert. Once again, final score: Spring Arbor improves to 8-7 on the year with a 5-1 victory over your Bethel Pilots, who fall to 3-8. From all of us at Regional Radio Sports, have a great night. We hope to hear you for game 2 here at Gardner Field.
Thank you for calling Presto Sports, Stretch Internet, and SID Help. Your call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please listen closely as our menu options have changed. If you are a listener or viewer requiring technical support or have questions about a charge on your credit card statement, please press 1. If you are a representative of a school, organization, or other client requiring support, if you are trying to reach the streaming support team, please press 1. If you are trying to reach the website support team, if you are calling to test or end an event, please press.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's good. How are you?
Oh, well, what can I help you with?
This is JP from the Regional Radio Sports Network, just letting you know that the first game between Bethel and Spring Arbor softball has ended. game that lasted an hour and 14 minutes. For the victorious Spring Arbor Cougars, 10 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 3 on base. For the Bethel College Pilots, 1 run, 7 hits, 3 errors. They left 2 on base. Winning pitcher is Melody Donovan. She now improves to 2-4 on the season. Losing pitcher is Brooke Stoltz. She is now 2-4. In game 2, it was a 10-run inning and 3 defensive miscues that did in the Pilots, but the biggest blow was the grand slam by Kyla Simonis, and that proved to be the final nail on the coffin as the 10-run 4th inning put away the Pilots. Pilots pounded out 7 hits as only Mari Younger was able to score. And in game 1, just timely hitting as the Spring Arbor Cougars punched out 11 hits and manufactured runs. The only run that the Pilots would get in game 1 was a Maribel Castro home run, her first collegiate round tripper. That's going to do it for our coverage of Bethel Pilots softball tonight. I want to remind you once again that the next broadcast will be on Friday, March 22nd, when they take on the Lancers of Grace College. 3 o'clock is the scheduled time for the first pitch. It'll be a 2:40 pregame show. Matt Capsey will be here from Gardner Field. That'll do it for us here at Gardner Field. Once again, the final score is Spring Arbor sweeps the doubleheader 5-1 in game 1 and 10-1 in 5 innings in game 2. From all of us at Regional Radio Sports Network, this is JP Jobert saying thank you for listening and having a great night.